So with the redesigned SAT test specifications, there are a couple of features that you do want to be aware of. In the new SAT, students will encounter what they're calling founding documents and great global conversations. These are things like the Federalist Papers, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, speeches from Gandhi. These are the types of things that kids will encounter. They will encounter at least one of these on their form of the test. So we do want to return some study to some of the classic founding documents, as well as well-known worldwide speeches and movements and laws. Scenarios and extended tasks. What we mean by that is that you will have a passage or you will have a math problem. And in that problem or scenario, you will then receive several questions about that. And it will extend and get higher and more into critical thinking for each of those. So instead of a random question and a random question and a random question, you will have a passage or a problem and then 6 to 8 questions about that passage or problem. So that's what we mean about scenarios and extended tasks. Also in the mathematics, kids will be expected to do some modeling. So they will have a scenario and then have to model that out. What if this occurred? That will also be something that they need to do. Editing and revision in the writing and language test, and again, these are multiple choice questions in the writing and language. They will be editing and revising texts from multiple genres and subjects. So it won't just be a literature piece that they are revising. It could be a history piece, a technical piece that they are revising. And the essay genre or purpose will be released before the test. So you will know what the essay prompt is before the test. What we won't know is the text that kids will have to use. So we will know ahead of time if they will be analyzing author's craft for persuasion. We'll know that. What we won't know is the text that they're going to have to use on the test to analyze the author's craft.
Casey, go ahead and flip it, but I'm going to answer this for those of you that won't go into the math session. The 3 areas, the heart of math, algebra, focuses on the mastery of linear equations and systems and helps students develop key powers of abstraction. While the passport to advanced math emphasizes familiarity with more complex equations and the manipulation they require. So why they named it that? There'll be a quiz on that in 2 minutes.
Absolutely. That will be the end of the day quiz. So let's get into some of the nitty-gritty pieces of this. The reading test, 52 questions, 65 minutes. Okay, so 52 questions, 65 minutes, 100% multiple choice. That will be the reading portion. There will be 4 single passages and a pair. Okay, 4 single passages and a pair. Range of text complexity is grade 9 through post-secondary, and there will be texts at different levels of text complexity, and we'll show you some examples later in the ELA breakout. There will be what they are calling challenging graphics, and again in the breakout we'll show you the difference between challenging graphics and basic graphics. And the content will include US and world literature, but also history, social studies topics, and science topics. Okay, question?
Am I understanding correctly that of the 4 reading passages, 0 of them are fiction?
No, we don't know that for sure. Yep, we don't have a yes or no on that. We do know that it could contain US and world literature, or history, or social studies, or science. For the writing and language test overview, 44 questions in 35 minutes. And again, this is 100% multiple choice. There will be 4 single passages, about 1,700 words total. So kids will be reading 1,700 words, 4 passages. Okay. The contents of the writing and language test, chances are this will not be fiction. Chances are it will be all expository and informational. They will encounter information about careers, history and social studies, humanities subjects, and science. Those will be the topics that they can encounter on the writing and language test. The text types will be argumentative, informative, and nonfiction. Again, a range of text complexity, grade 9 to post-secondary, and they will encounter basic graphics. Things like a bar graph would be a basic graphic. Okay. The essay overview. One essay prompt, 50 minutes. Passage-based, they will read a passage between 650 and 750 words. And then they will use that passage and look for arguments written for a broad audience. So again, persuasion is the most likely topic, and that's what we've seen in the samples so far, has been persuasive text. Text complexity will be the high school level, and the topic will be analyzing the author's claims. Are they valid? Are they credible? How do they use cohesive devices, etc.? Scoring will be 3 areas: reading, writing, and analysis. 2 raters, 1 to 4 scale. Those 2 scores will be combined so that each of the 3 areas will have a scale score of 2 to 8. Yeah.
Quick ELA question. Looking at both the genres for reading and writing, is it likely that we could count on little, if any, fiction text for them to have?
Our best guess, the question was about how much fiction do we really think is going to be on here. From our analysis so far, we don't think there will be much fiction with the SAT. However, there are some sample items that are available right now that are things like Ethan Frome.
Okay.
And so some classic works would not surprise us if those appeared on the test. Math overview, 58 questions in 80 minutes. Your calculator section is 55 minutes. Your without calculator section is 25 minutes. And here's where we get into the 2 types of responses. There will be 45 multiple choice questions and then 13 student-produced answers. These student-produced answers will be similar to what you're going to encounter on M-STEP as well. So if you've seen the new math grid sheets on how students need to answer a problem and submit their answer, you will see something very similar with the SAT. And Rusty has examples of those in the math breakout session. Here's the breakdown. Heart of Algebra, 19 questions, 17 for problem solving and data analysis, 16 for your passport to advanced mathematics, and 6 in additional topics. You will also get those cross-test scores. Analysis in science and analysis in history and social studies is also a part of math, just like it's a part of reading and writing and language. So you'll have subject areas and scenarios from science, from history, from social studies. We're going to move into talking about the SAT pathway next.